Listen closely, because what I'm about to tell you can change everything you think you know about women. Most men have been taught that sharing everything builds trust, that confessing their secrets will make her love them more. But here's the hidden truth. It doesn't build attraction, it quietly destroys it. Women will never say this out loud. Yet the moment you reveal certain parts of yourself, she will never look at you the same again. Her mind will shift. Her respect will fade, and you won't even realize it until it's too late. That's exactly why I made this message. Because you deserve more than confusion and heartbreak. You deserve clarity. You deserve power. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the 7 secrets that no man should ever hand over to a woman if he wants to be respected, desired, and admired. Men who ignore this end up wondering why her eyes grow distant, why her voice grows cold, why she no longer sees them as the man she once adored. So lean in, take notes, and hit subscribe right now, because what I'm about to give you isn't advice. It's survival. Secret 1: Insecurities. The first secret you must never hand to a woman is your deepest insecurities. Not the little frustrations you laugh off. Not the minor doubts you use as fuel. I'm talking about the fears that keep you awake at 3 in the morning. The thoughts that whisper you are not enough. That one day it will all collapse. That you're standing on borrowed ground. The modern world will tell you to open up, to be vulnerable, to share everything so she knows the real you. But here's the unfiltered truth when you bleed your doubts into her hands. You don't build closeness, you corrode her instinct to trust you. A woman will smile in the moment. She might hug you. She might whisper, "It's okay." But deep inside, something shifts. She no longer sees the unshakable man she admired. She sees the cracks you revealed. And once she sees them, she can't unsee them. Think of Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor who carried the weight of Rome through plagues and war. He filled his private journal with doubts and fears, but he never read them aloud to the world. Those writings were not confessions. They were blueprints for discipline, for mastering the chaos in his mind, so he could walk into the world unshaken. That's what modern men forget. You must conquer yourself in silence before you speak with power to anyone else. When you tell a woman, "I'm terrified I'll lose everything," or "I don't feel like I'm good enough," you plant a seed in her mind. She might comfort you today, but months from now, when storms hit your life and hers, she will remember those words and question if you are still the rock she can lean on. Ask yourself this: if King Leonidas, standing with 300 warriors against a massive Persian army, had told his men, "I'm scared, I don't think we can win," would they have followed him into battle? Of course not. Strength is not about never feeling fear. It is about carrying fear with discipline and showing only the courage the world needs to see. That does not mean you lock everything inside and pretend to be made of stone. It means you choose where to place your battles. Use a journal. Talk to a brother you trust. Speak with a mentor or a therapist if you must. But never hand your raw insecurities to the woman you want to admire you. She does not want to carry the weight of your self-doubt. She wants to feel safe in your presence. She wants to know that when chaos comes, you will not crumble. You will lead. Seneca said, "Man is affected not by events, but by the view he takes of them." If you frame your struggles as challenges you are conquering, You inspire her. If you frame them as flaws that define you, you lose her respect. So, the next time you feel the urge to confess, just to feel lighter, pause. Ask yourself, do I want comfort in this moment, or respect for a lifetime? Because one careless confession can change the way she sees you forever. Never forget, the man who earns a woman's devotion is not the man who crumbles in her arms. He is the man who carries his storms in silence and lets her feel only his strength. Secret 2: Past women. The second secret you must never hand to a woman is the full truth about your romantic past. Not the vague outline, the exact number. The full history. The list of names. The emotional scars. Keep those locked away. Because here's what most men never realize when a woman asks about your past with other women. She is not searching for facts. She is testing your frame. It sounds innocent. How many girls have you been with? Or, tell me about your old relationships. But behind that playful tone is a subtle challenge. The moment you answer honestly, whether the number is high or low, you've already lost the frame. If you say it is high, she will laugh lightly. But deep inside, she will file you under player. She may wonder if she could ever trust your loyalty. If you say it is low, she may smile politely while secretly questioning your experience, your magnetism, even your ability to attract women at all. Either way, honesty will be twisted against you. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "Control what you can, accept what you cannot." You cannot control her reaction to your past, but you can control what you reveal. Wise men understand that not every truth deserves a voice. Some truths must be carried silently, like a sword sheathed at your side. Look back at history. Do you think Julius Caesar, notorious for his affairs, boasted to Cleopatra about every woman who once warmed his bed? Of course not. Great men do not ask their past to speak for them. They let their presence command respect in the present. When a woman pushes for your number, she does not want data. She wants to see if you will fold, if you crumble. If you blurt it out nervously, she will see that your self-control is fragile. But if you stay composed, if you wear mystery like a cloak, she will lean in closer. Intrigued. That is why the best response is not full disclosure. It is elegant redirection. Smile. Pause. And say something like, "Enough to know what I want, and wise enough to know what I will never settle for." That answer gives her nothing to use against you, while wrapping you in the very thing women find irresistible: mystery. Ask yourself this: what good comes from telling her the truth about your past? Does it change how you treat her today? No. Does it win her respect? No. It only risks poisoning the way she sees you. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning to act according to virtue, not for the approval of others. Apply that here. Your past lovers are irrelevant. Your actions in this moment are what shape her trust. Do not try to earn her loyalty with unnecessary honesty. Earn it through consistency, discipline, and integrity. Let her see how you move, how you lead, how you honor your word, not how many women once said yes to you. Attraction does not thrive on full disclosure. It thrives on mystery, restraint, and composure. So the next time she leans in with that sly smile and asks, "How many girls have you been with?" remember this: her respect depends not on your answer, but on your discipline to withhold it. Silence protects you. Mystery draws her in. Composure keeps her there. Secret 3. Money. The third secret you must never lay bare to a woman is the full truth about your money. Listen carefully, because this one has silently broken more men than betrayal, heartbreak, or rejection ever could. Women are naturally wired to evaluate security. They instinctively scan for provision, stability, and lifestyle. And the moment you reveal the exact number in your bank account, you hand her the lens through which she will measure your worth. If you tell her it is little, she may nod with sympathy, but inside she begins to shrink her vision of you. She may start to see you as limited, a man without reach. Even if you are quietly building something powerful, if you tell her it is much, her expectations rise. She may unconsciously begin to weigh your value by what you can provide instead of who you are. Either way, you have placed yourself inside a box of her design, and boxes are coffins for masculine presence. Seneca once said, "Wealth is not having great possessions, but having few wants." True strength is not measured in currency, but in the discipline with which you command it. Do you think men like John D. Rockefeller or Elon Musk ever whispered their net worth to women they courted? Of course not. They let their direction, their vision, their presence speak louder than numbers ever could. And that is what most men forget. A woman does not truly want to know the exact figure. What she wants is to feel that you are a man who can create, sustain, and lead. She is not looking for digits, she is looking for energy. When you reveal the exact amount, you strip yourself of mystery and leverage. It is like a king announcing how much gold lies in his vault. Once the number is known, people stop seeing the king, they only see the gold. And the moment they see the gold, they start plotting how to take it. The same happens with you. When you announce your wealth or your lack of it, you expose yourself. You surrender the power of uncertainty. You turn yourself from the crown into the coin. And coins are spent. Crowns endure. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself never to flaunt possessions, because external things never made a man great. Only inner command does. A man anchored in self-mastery never needs to flash what he owns. He carries his ambition in his posture, his confidence in his silence. So the next time she asks, "How much do you make?" do not make the mistake of turning it into a confession. Redirect with vision. Say something like, "Enough to take care of what matters," and focused on building far more. That answer reveals your direction without giving her ammunition. It signals strength, control, and purpose, without letting her reduce you to a number. Remember this truth: money is a tool, not your identity. It is meant to serve you, not define you. Handle it like fire, command it, contain it, but never play with it to impress someone else. Protect it the way a king protects his crown. Secret 4. Fear. Every man carries fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of losing his place in the world, fear of dying alone. Fear walks beside every man who has ever lived. But here is what most men never understand. The moment you place that fear into a woman's hands in words, she will never see you the same. She might wrap her arms around you. She might whisper, "It's okay." But inside, something shifts, something deep. She begins to wonder if she can truly lean on you when the world turns dark and chaos tears through your lives. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who guided Rome through plagues and wars, undoubtedly felt fear, but he never let the world see it. He bled it onto the page of his private meditations instead. There he wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." He did not broadcast fear to seek comfort. He converted it into discipline to sharpen his mind and steady his spirit. That is what made him unshakable in the eyes of his people. Now imagine telling a woman, "I'm terrified of losing my job," or "I'm afraid I can't provide." She may comfort you in the moment, but the image will haunt her. It will live inside her mind like a ghost. And when real storms arrive, she will not see your courage, she will see that ghost. Attraction dies in that shadow. Do you know why Spartan warriors were revered? It was not because they were fearless. It was because they mastered fear and marched into battle without speaking it aloud. They showed presence, discipline, and the quiet defiance of men who refused to let fear write their legacy. Fear only gains power when it is spoken. So here is the question you must face as a man when fear rises inside you. Will you pour it into her lap, hoping she will carry it for you, or will you carry it yourself, standing tall, letting her see only your courage? Seneca once said, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Understand what that means when you confess your fear to her. You plant your imagination into her mind, and once it takes root, she begins to fear with you instead of leaning on you. That is how trust crumbles, not with betrayal, but with doubt. Fear is natural. Speaking it is optional, and speaking it to her is fatal. So the next time fear wraps its cold hands around your heart, do not give it a voice. Write it down. Walk through it. Fight it in silence until it bends to your will. But never hand it to her. Let her see your steadiness, not your shaking. Let her feel your fire, not your trembling. Because in her eyes, your silence in fear will always make you stronger than any words ever could. Secret 5: Betrayals. There is one more secret. You must never hand to a woman the stories of how other women betrayed you. Most men think that opening up about their heartbreak will make her feel closer, as if honesty about the wounds of the past will spark compassion. But it never does. It does the opposite. The moment you say, "My ex cheated on me," or "Women have used me before," she quietly files that information away like a blade in her pocket. It becomes part of how she views you, and instead of pity turning into loyalty, it turns into doubt. She begins to wonder, if the women before me didn't value him, why should I? You believe you are showing transparency. But what she sees are the scars of a man who was chosen last. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." When you speak of betrayal, you breathe life into it again. You carry it forward like a chain around your neck, dragging ghosts from your past into the space where your future should stand. But a man of power never walks with ghosts. Think of Alexander the Great. He lost brothers in arms. He was betrayed by men he once trusted with his life. Yet he never stood before his army complaining about being deceived. He stood taller. He absorbed the lesson. And he marched forward as if no blade had ever pierced his back. That is what made him unstoppable. So ask yourself this: when you tell a woman about your past betrayals, does she see a warrior who overcame, or a man who still bleeds. Because here is the truth. Women do not want to feel that they are competing with the ghosts of your past. They want to feel that you buried those ghosts long ago and walked away from the grave without looking back. Seneca said, "We are always complaining that our days are few, yet acting as though they will never end." The same is true of heartbreak. You waste the short life. You have retelling the same old pain when you should be building something new. The strongest men do not carry betrayal into their present. They extract the wisdom, burn the rest, and speak only of the lessons. They let their composure speak louder than their scars, so the next time you are tempted to confess how badly you were wronged, stop. Remember this: she does not need your pain. She needs your presence. A man respected by women is not the man who cries about his betrayals. It is the man who rose from them without needing to say a single word. Secret 6: Weakness. Another secret you must never reveal to a woman is the place where you feel the weakest as a man. It might be your battle with discipline, your struggle with addictions, your loss of control in certain areas of life. But the moment you confess, "I can't control myself when it comes to this," or "I always fail when it comes to that," you carve an image of helplessness into her mind. And once that image takes root, it will quietly erode her respect for you. Women are not drawn to men who explain their weaknesses. They are drawn to men who conquer them. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Think about that. Freedom is not the absence of struggle, it is the presence of command. If you hand her the very thing that owns you, she may smile. She may even hug you. But in her heart she is losing faith. Because the truth is, women do not admire men who surrender to their demons. They admire men who fight them in silence and walk into the room appearing untouched. Look at Winston Churchill. He battled crippling depression, what he called his black dog. But he never confessed this weakness to the public. He carried it behind closed doors while standing before his nation like a wall of stone. He led through fire without ever asking to be pitied. So ask yourself this: if you show a woman the place where you are weakest, will she admire you more? Or will she begin to wonder how long before that weakness pulls you under? Attraction is not about perfection. It is about direction. If you confess weakness without showing mastery, she will quietly doubt your ability to protect, to lead, and to inspire. Because to her, admitting a weakness you have not yet conquered sounds less like honesty and more like surrender. A man must transform his weakness into discipline before he speaks of it. Otherwise, his words are nothing but confessions of defeat. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself each morning, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That is the essence here. Do not tell her where you stumble. Show her where you stand. She does not need to see the chains you are still trying to break. She needs to see the strength of the man who keeps moving forward, despite those chains. Keep your weaknesses private until they become scars of battles won, not wounds that are still bleeding. Secret 7: Doubt. The final secret you must never place in a woman's hands is the admission that you doubt yourself as a man. Doubt is natural. Every man feels it. We all wonder if we are strong enough, if we are making the right moves, if we truly have what it takes to stand where we stand. But the moment you speak that doubt aloud to her, you drive a hairline fracture through the way she sees you. She might not react in that instant. She might even comfort you, but quietly, silently. Her faith begins to thin like ice under sunlight. Understand this. Women do not fall in love with uncertainty. They fall in love with conviction. They want to believe they are safe following your lead. And they cannot do that if they sense you no longer believe in yourself. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He knew doubt was not a confession. It was fuel. The great men of history did not spill their uncertainty. They turned it into motion. They forged strength from it, like iron pulled from fire. Imagine this. A general stands before his army. The enemy's flags blackening the horizon. And he says, "I'm not sure we can win." What happens? Their hands loosen on their swords. Their courage evaporates. Hesitation spreads like poison. And hesitation kills. It works the same with a woman. When you speak your self-doubt, you plant hesitation in her heart. And once it grows, it strangles attraction from the inside out. Women do not want your confessions. They want your certainty. Even if you are still figuring things out behind the curtain, they want to feel your presence as unshakable. Seneca said, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult." Doubt expands when you speak it, but it shrinks when you confront it. So ask yourself this. When you look into her eyes, do you want her to see a man who is unsure of himself, or a man who moves forward even while uncertainty howls in his chest? A man who wrestles with doubt in private grows stronger. A man who spills it to a woman bleeds out her trust. The choice is yours. Never hand her your uncertainty. Hand her your resolve. Now you know the truth. There are things a man must guard, because the moment you give them away, a woman will never look at you the same. This was never about lying. It has always been about protecting your frame, the invisible structure that holds your power, your mystery, and your presence together. Women do not admire men who pour out every fear, every crack, every shadow. They admire men who face their storms in silence, who sharpen themselves in private, and walk back into the world with unshaken eyes. Like Marcus Aurelius writing his doubts to himself, not to the crowd. Like Leonidas holding the line while fear roared inside his chest. Attraction is fragile. It does not grow from words. It grows from energy, from the gravity of a man who stands rooted even when the world shakes. So ask yourself, do you want to be her rock, her warrior, her king, or her patient, her project, her regret? If this spoke to you, like this video, share it with a brother who needs it, and subscribe for more truths that most men never hear, but every man must know.